13 must-have tools for homeowners. Coming to you from a DIYer or a plumber. So as you can see, I have a special guest in the house today, Nils from Learn to DIY. We came across a tool list that you've got.
Yes, yes.
Guys, stay around to the end because the tool that he recommends that just blew my mind, well, now I want one. All right, so I'm gonna reach down into the magic drawer and pull out my list. And I'm gonna go through the list of the things that we agree upon that every homeowner needs. Every homeowner. So if you're a homeowner, grab a piece of paper, grab a pen, write this down because this is stuff that you need and you need to know where it is when you need it. That's huge.
Yep, can't be lost, can't be spending 4 hours looking for it. Yep.
Yeah, that's, you know, if you're looking for 4 hours for a wrench to turn off your water, which isn't even on my list, you're gonna have problems.
Well, let's talk about that.
Yeah, I know. All right, so one of the first things that's on your list that's also on mine is a hammer. You've got a great video about a hammer. We don't always see hammers as the same way.
That's true. Now, I'm with you though. The hammer I've got, yeah, that was a funky one for sure.
I tell you what, no, I love it though.
Yeah.
Me and Squirt have talked about it. I do. I love that hammer, but you know,
good old hammer.
it's a good old homeowner claw hammer.
Yep.
Now, as a plumber, you know, you may want something that's gonna be able to do a little more work with.
Yep.
And as a pipe fitter like Squirt is, you're like, well, this is a hammer to me. It's a ball peen hammer. Okay. So you need a hammer. Now at home, you're probably gonna want a claw hammer.
Right.
Because you need to remove nails, you need to do different things. That is actually a good demo tool sometimes if you need it.
Absolutely.
But hammers are a big deal, and we both agree everybody needs one of those.
Right. Yep. That's an easy one.
That's simple. My favorite hammer when I was growing up, and I always knew exactly what drawer it was because mom and dad kept it in there, was a little hammer, probably about half the size of this, and it had a brass handle, and you could unscrew it.
Oh yeah.
And all the multiple levels of screwdrivers.
Yep. Yep.
All the way to the little bitty teeny tiny one, which is my favorite one to play with.
Right.
But look, it doesn't matter what you've got, know where it is, know how to get to it, and you're okay. All right, so back into the magic drawer. Oh yeah, a cordless drill. Now, we both agree on this.
Yeah.
This is huge.
Have to have it.
And look, we don't have the bit sets or anything, but this is a drill. This is a power screwdriver.
Yep.
It does all kinds of things.
And not only that, don't just this is the mistake I made when I was first new homeowner, basically. I went and got the cheapest cordless drill I could find. And they sucked. They were terrible. And so I ended up having probably 3 different sets of those before I realized you got to spend a few bucks. Get one that's good, get a brushless motor, get something that has a decent set of options on it, and you're going to be happy.
Great tool for everybody to have. So now we're going into pliers. Now, as a homeowner, what do you call pliers? Probably none of these.
So what I've got on my list, if I could pick one, it would be it is none of these, right?
It's a regular
pair of pliers, right? At least have that. Ideally, have more options. And a lot of times these do come in sets as well. I see all these matching colors of handles and stuff. These are probably in a set, right?
Absolutely.
Get that if you can, but at the bare minimum, have at least a regular set of pliers.
And you know, as plumbers, we lack the adjustable pliers like this because you can do so many different things with it. And I say as plumbers, as tradespeople, I like the pliers, but as a homeowner, if I want to be able to do more with it, I would probably go to something like this.
Yep.
And like you said, there's all kinds of, as you see, different sizes. Get a medium size. Normally as a homeowner, you're not going to need something super huge, but you don't want something that's so tiny. If you do need something bigger, you can't do anything with it.
Right. And I wouldn't hesitate to change that to having some adjustable pliers like this, channel locks or whatever you want to call them, and making sure that they are big enough, because the regular pliers are good for a lot of things, but these can do just about everything regular pliers. The only difference is the angle that you're attacking it at.
Getting in straight.
Right.
And you know, also pliers, you got needle nose pliers, and there's a lot of great needs for something like this. So as you add your list from 13 things up, needle nose may be something you put on yours.
Absolutely. I use these all the time.
Yeah, me too. And again, size does matter. Adjustable wrenches. And you know, as a homeowner, you might be like, well, I'll just get a little bitty one. And you don't always need the biggest. You don't always, I know.
It's so cute.
It is cute. It is cute. And it comes in handy and it's Klein tools. So I mean,
look at that.
it's kind of neat.
Yeah.
But size does matter. You don't want to have some big tool if you're working on a little bitty nut on the toilet or something.
In a tight space.
In a tight space.
Yep.
And you don't want to use a little bitty one even if that does fit the nut. If you're opening this all the way, you may need more leverage to loosen something up. But adjustable pliers are a great tool to have in any homeowner's bag or bucket or whatever you're putting them in.
Agreed. Yeah.
Everyday tool again.
This guy right here is kind of like, if you can get one about this size, in my opinion. And you're going to come in circumstances where you're like, this isn't big enough and it's just maybe not enough leverage or it won't open wide enough. But for most things around the house, this thing is awesome, this size right here.
And number one, this is insulated. I love that.
Yep.
Compared to these. I love having the insulated handle.
Yep.
And guys, as a homeowner, as a man, you hate being told it's not big enough.
That's right. You don't want to run that risk. So
no, not at all. Not ever.
You can go bigger too.
Yeah. So a circuit tester.
Yeah.
Now, I'm an HVAC tech also, not just a plumber. But I've got, my field piece. I've got one that does multiple things. AC, DC, all kinds of things. I love the clip-on, so there's a lot of safety features here. This is probably more than most homeowners would need.
For sure, yeah.
But it's a great thing to have.
Yep, I agree. And just a standard multimeter is going to do wonders for you. And then I don't know where to draw the line on this one, but also just a circuit tester, a receptacle tester that you plug in and it says, yes, this is grounded. Yes, you've got your hot, you've got your neutral, you're ready to go. That much, I think, is going to do a lot for a lot of people. If you know how to use a multimeter, and they don't cost really hardly any more.
They don't.
You can get them pretty inexpensively.
Really
and you can have that thing for life, and they'll do all kinds of things for you just using that multimeter with those couple of prongs.
And guys, this is one of those things, when you need it, you need it.
Yeah.
So this is like every other tool in here. It's a great thing to have around the house. It's not something that you want to have to go get when you need.
Right.
All right, let's see what's next.
Okay.
This is one that I've got on my list is wire cutters.
Okay.
Because I can take wire cutters, like those needle nose pliers that have the wire cutter part, and strip a wire with this. You've actually got wire strippers on yours.
Yes.
Do you do a lot of electrical around your house yourself?
A ton.
Do you?
Yeah. And I think everybody should know at least the basics of how their outlets are wired, their receptacles are wired, what's going in and out of your different, like basically what's behind the walls and how it's working. And if you might need to run a new outlet somewhere, we actually just had a conversation about having to add an outlet to your bathroom.
As a plumber.
Right, yeah. And so I think it's important that you have those basics set up and you know how to run wires, strip wires, cut wires, do the basics there. And what I'm recommending is that you get kind of one of these all-in-ones that has the different gauges of wire for stripping. It has a good pair of shears on there for cutting the wires, and then maybe even does a little bit of crimping on there if you need to.
And I love this. It's got the stripper, it's got the bolt cutter, it's got the different size wires. This is not a great wire cutter, I'll give you that.
Yep.
The needle nose that I have would probably be better at that. So, you can kind of play with that as you need it. Me as a plumber, I don't do a lot of electrical around my house.
Sure.
So when I saw the wire strippers, I'm thinking, yeah, that's probably a little more in detail than I would have gone on mine. I use my wire cutters for that,
Sure.
but I completely understand. Now, this is where it goes downhill because my list and his list completely changed.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to go to the top of your list, and I'm going to go ahead and fold this open and look at my list. You've got an insulated screwdriver set. To me as a homeowner, a good 4-way, 11-way, whatever kind of screwdriver you get.
Yep.
It's got flat Phillips, it's got large and small, it's got multiple heads in it. You've got a little square head. Open it up to this end. You've got a smaller square head.
Yep.
There's great opportunities.
Yeah.
Why the insulated? Because you work so much with electricity?
Because you don't need to worry about whether it's insulated or not when you've already got it. So if you're working with the electrical stuff, and the insulated is not required ever really, but it's just a fail-safe. It's just one layer of protection between you and live electricity, or hopefully not live electricity, right? You shouldn't be working
Yes,
live.
that's
But
true.
if you mess up and something's live and you didn't think it was, you didn't trip the right breakers at your sister's house, right? then you've got that insulated as an added layer of protection there. So an insulated driver can do anything that a non-insulated driver can. So why not just get an insulated set to start with?
Do you call this insulated because it's got a rubber handle?
Yes, in a way. It's in the
Very
right
minimal.
direction.
It's not 100
minimal.
amp.
Yep, it's minimal, but yeah, that's still a great place. In fact, I have this same one, and that is a great screwdriver right there.
So here's where I'm going to throw your tool list completely out the window.
Okay.
You've got an insulated screwdriver set with Phillips slotted. What is a Robertson number 1?
You just pointed to it.
The square?
Square is right.
Aha,
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
that. See,
yeah.
I learned something new today. Thank
Robertson
you so much.
is the original inventor of it from up in Canada.
Okay, I like that. But you've got 3 screwdrivers listed as a 1 tool. See, you can't do that.
What are you holding?
A multi-tool.
Okay, same thing.
No.
Yeah.
No, see, we're going to agree to disagree.
Okay, fine.
Okay, now on your list, you've got a socket set, metric
Yes.
and standard.
Yep.
Again, you know, we've got 2 sets of tools here.
Right.
As a plumber,
Just that.
that'll get you just about everything you need.
Yes, as a plumber,
Okay, as a homeowner, what do I need a socket set for?
because you drive a car for one thing.
Okay, but that's a home. That's a car. See, now we're in a whole nother world here, Niles.
Okay. What about if you're doing something around the house where you can't get that thing around the side, you need to get it from the top.
Okay, well, I'll give you that because sometimes working on toilets, I do wish I had a socket set with me.
Yep.
Okay, so you get that one. That's pretty
Yep.
good. Okay, now this is funny because, and I don't even know if I've got it in here. I do, but I don't have it on my list. But you've got pipe wrenches.
Yeah.
Now, what do homeowners need pipe wrenches for?
It's those circumstances where you just need that leverage that you're not going to get from anything else. Pipe wrenches they probably shouldn't be used as multi-tools, but we all use them as multi-tools. It's a little bit of a hammer sometimes. It's a little bit of leverage on something that you don't normally have. And maybe I'm biased on this one because I just find that they're useful in all kinds of circumstances.
And all you plumbers that go over and say, dude, that's not a hammer. I told him, you tell him if you've ever used this as a hammer, don't you say a word about my hammer.
And who hasn't?
I know,
right?
we
Yeah,
all have,
yeah.
we all have. Okay, now you've got a putty knife,
Yeah,
but you do a lot of sheetrock repairs.
sure.
I don't.
Okay.
I
But
don't have putty knife on
what
my
about
list.
spackling? What about patching over those little holes?
Well,
what
that's
about
what toothpaste in your fingers for.
Okay, well,
you just
you
take
know.
white toothpaste, put it in the hole, it's good.
And you get a minty fresh breath.
It makes
at
your
the same
room
time.
smell amazing.
That's right. So I think a putty knife is just good to have in general because there's always little holes to patch. And I'm not talking, a full-on drywall knife that's 8 or 10 inches or anything. Just something like this. And by the way, on my list, throw these away. I hate these little guys. There you go. Get rid of it. So just stick with the metal. It's going to last longer. You're not going to get little divots in it. But one like this right here, it can do so many different things. And again, you're using it as a little bit of a multi-tool. You're going to scrape some caulking off with it sometimes.
Scrape stickers off
You're gonna
the toys.
get the bacon out of your teeth, anything you need to do.
I hadn't
You
thought
got it.
about that.
Yeah, there you go. It's a good one.
There we go. So you've got a caulking gun.
Yeah.
Now this is good, but I'm like, how often as a homeowner, how often as just a regular homeowner did you use a caulk gun?
I would think, this depends on your level of ambition here, but I use that thing all the time to do little upgrades or to repair caulking that's just worn out or just used up or whatever. I just feel like a caulking gun gets used all the time. Maybe it gets used more in my house than in yours.
I think so.
Okay.
The other one, the saw.
Yeah.
I love the magic drawer. Let's try that again.
Yep.
Do we need a disposable urine bag
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
on the deal here? You've got a circular saw on here.
Yes.
Are these homeowners or are these home remodelers?
You can be both, but they're homeowners.
okay.
They're homeowners.
Okay, so a circular saw. For how often do you use a circular saw as a typical homeowner?
As a typical homeowner, you're going to use this when you want to do some sort of fix or upgrade or mend something that needs mending. You need a 2x4 cut to a certain length. You're working on garden boxes. You're working on something that you're getting ambitious, doing a little bit of framing or something like that. But it's more for projects where you're building something. And a lot of this gets used outside, actually. You're doing it for something outside the house.
So my recommendation is a wood saw,
Okay.
PVC saw, anything like that, bigger teeth. A hacksaw in case you're needing to cut anything metal.
Yep.
Conduit. You know, you're
Yeah.
building, you need stakes. Maybe a mini hacksaw, same as the other one, small teeth for metal.
Yep.
And then there's just like a PVC saw that could also be used for wood, which both these are.
You got 4 saws, Roger.
But I don't have a circular saw.
Well, which
As a
one?
homeowner-
Which one is it?
I think on my list, let me check.
Hacksaw
Yes, a hacksaw and
and a wood saw.
Yeah.
Okay, you got both.
Yeah, so I've got the wood saw and the hacksaw on mine because I
Okay.
think you need both. 2 separate saws, 2 different ideas. Now we're kind of getting down into my list now. The 4-way screwdriver we showed.
Yep.
Now I do
Ooh,
have.
I like this one. I didn't even think of this one. You got me on this one. This is great.
Okay, this is something every homeowner needs.
I 100% agree.
And I love this because it's an adjustable ladder.
Right.
It's an extension ladder. It's foldable. It's an A-frame. It's a tall A-frame.
Yep.
Even if it's just a little step stool ladder. Some kind of ladder every homeowner needs.
You're right.
Now, I like this. It may be bigger than most, but I've got a smaller one too
Yep.
that'll extend even bigger. But, you know, a little ladder doesn't have to be a perfect big ladder, and you don't need an extension and an A-frame and a 6-foot and a 12-foot and all that.
Right.
That's what I love about ladders like this, but I think every homeowner needs this. Now, I've also got a flashlight. And it can be a little bitty one. It can be a headlamp. Yes, this is a headlamp.
Yep.
Okay. Stuff like this does come in handy,
Sure does.
and it's good to have, especially if the lights go out.
Yep.
Okay, so I like these.
Now, I didn't put that on there, Roger.
I know. Yeah, you don't even have a phone. I know. I get it. Okay, one thing not on your list is a tape measure.
And I feel like I need to redo my list.
Okay. I
That's-
didn't know.
That has to be on there.
This is critical for
Yeah.
any homeowner. I'm a perfectionist, so when I hang a picture, it's got to be dead center. Height-wise, side to side, but also as a homeowner, you may need to know how long to cut a piece of wood,
Sure.
how long to do a lot of things that we did
With a circular saw.
with the circular saw, absolutely, and things like that. So that to me is one of the first things. Matter of fact, it was number 1 on my list.
I think I use it so much, I didn't even think of it as a tool. Like I have them everywhere around the house.
And most of us don't. I've got several of them. Now, I've got something that's not on your list that I think everybody needs.
Okay.
If I can find it. Oh. Now, it's a level. Now, this is a complicated level. It's a grade level, but you want a level for all kinds of things around the house.
Yeah.
If I'm installing a new toilet, I always put a level on it, make sure I've got my bolts tightened down right. A level is just something to me everybody needs. And you don't even have it on your list.
I don't have it on my list.
So anyway, you don't have a level on your list. What about people hanging a picture and stuff like that? Whatever.
I feel like you get a level with a lot of the things that you buy anyways. If you buy a TV mount, you get one. If you buy certain picture frames, different things like that, you get one. And also, there's something on my list here that's gonna...
we're going to get to that.
Okay.
We're going to get to that.
All right.
Matter of fact, let's go ahead and get to it. Okay, so you talked about that thing on your list.
Yeah,
You've got a 3D printer on your list.
I sure do.
Look, I've been a homeowner for probably 35 years now. I've never had a 3D printer. Why do I need one?
Well, get with the times, Roger. There's so much stuff you can do with a 3D printer. You need a part. You don't have to run to the hardware store all the time to go get that. Sometimes you can just download a model for it, 3D print it, and within minutes, literally minutes, you can have that part sitting in your hand.
Okay, now I gotta tell you, at first I thought this was nuts. But like a level, you're just gonna 3D print your own level?
I don't know if you can 3D print that really, but it's kind of a joke that you would actually be able to do that. But you can 3D print all kinds of stuff.
All right, but if you do, where do you get your bubble juice?
Oh, the bubble juice. Well, that is actually spit. Yeah, you just use spit. Yeah.
Okay, guys, look, this has been a blast. If there's anything that neither one of us have on our list that you think every homeowner should have, do me a favor and put it down in the comments. Nils, where can people find you?
Learn to DIY, LRN2 DIY on YouTube.
Also go to learn to spell learn never mind.
Hooked on Phoenix worked for me.
Learn LRN to DIY. Nils, thank you for being here today.
Thanks, Ryan.
Great. Thank you, sir.